Lioness silently crept up to the little girl, and then something shocking happened. A huge lioness stealthily approached a little girl. What happened a moment later shocked everyone. On a sunny summer day, a cheerful family set out to explore a large wildlife reserve. Parents Michael and Jessica were eager to introduce their two young daughters, Ashley and Kathleen, to the wonders of the natural world. The girls were thrilled, eagerly anticipating their chance to see exotic animals up close. As they entered the reserve, the family was instantly immersed in the beauty of untouched nature. Endless green meadows, clusters of trees, and serene ponds surrounded them. Beyond the enclosures, they spotted an array of wildlife: majestic elephants, striped zebras, shaggy lions, and many other fascinating creatures. 5-year-old Kathleen, the youngest daughter, was instantly captivated by the large enclosure housing majestic African lions. A devoted cat lover, she was eager to see these wild relatives of her pet cat, Wally, up close. Excitedly, the family made their way to the predator's enclosure. In the center of the enclosure, 3 young lion cubs were frolicking playfully. The large lioness Angela, apparently their mother, lay nearby and watched the cubs. Angela was already an adult lioness and never paid attention to the reserve's visitors. But that day, something caught her attention. Kathleen watched the playful cubs through the sturdy glass barrier with delight. The girl was charmed by their graceful movements and amusing behavior. Suddenly, she noticed that the adult lioness Angela abruptly stood up and began looking around attentively. Angela sensed an unusual scent beyond the barrier, the smell of a tiny, warm-blooded cub. The lioness sniffed and discovered the source of the alluring smell. It was a little girl standing right next to the barrier. Angela curiously observed Kathleen. Kathleen smiled joyfully and waved at the lioness. She was not at all afraid of the huge predator, naively mistaking it for a giant domestic cat. Angela responded by slowly shaking her small mane. The lioness moved closer to the barrier, carefully examining the curious little girl. Kathleen's parents initially did not notice that their younger daughter had approached so close to the lion enclosure. But soon, Michael turned around and froze in horror. The mighty lioness was moving straight toward the barrier, toward their tiny daughter. Jessica also screamed and rushed to Kathleen to take her away from the dangerous predator. However, at that moment, something amazing happened. Angela, usually indifferent to strangers, stopped near the outer barrier of the enclosure right opposite Kathleen. The lioness did not growl, but merely observed the girl calmly, tilting her head to the side. Kathleen was so enchanted by the enormous cat that she completely forgot about caution. The girl pressed against the barrier, reaching out her hands to Angela. The lioness leaned forward in response, as if wishing to play with the little visitor. The predator sniffed and squinted, as if studying every feature on the child's face. Michael cautiously approached and tightly grasped Kathleen's hand. Barely containing his tremor, the lioness and the girl were separated only by thick glass. Some measly centimeters from each other, Jessica, in fright, covered her mouth with her hand, watching this incredible scene in horror. At that time, the main keeper of the reserve, Jacob, was passing by the enclosure. He immediately noticed the unusual behavior of the lioness Angela, who always ignored visitors. Jacob approached the barrier and gasped in surprise at the sight. He quickly called out to Kathleen's family. "Wow, I've never seen Angela react like this to visitors. She usually pays little attention to people. Your little girl seems to have completely charmed her. Such behavior from the lioness is just incredible." The family nodded apprehensively, unable to utter a word. Angela still kept her gaze fixed on Kathleen as if enchanted. She gently sniffed the girl's hands and barely touched the glass with her rough tongue. Kathleen laughed merrily at these imperceptible touches. Jacob offered the astonished parents a free visit to the reserve for the next 5 years. He was so amazed at how Angela reacted to the little girl that he wanted to continue watching their interaction. Michael and Jessica gladly accepted Jacob's generous offer. Kathleen was ecstatic at the thought that she could return to the reserve and see her new giant kitty. From that day on, the family regularly visited the reserve. And each time, Kathleen eagerly ran straight to the lion enclosure to meet her favorite, Angela. The lioness always recognized the little girl and immediately approached the barrier, anticipating another interaction with the amazing child. Angela became completely tame only in Kathleen's presence. She patiently waited for the little guest to approach the enclosure, then lay down right by the barrier, listened interestedly to the girl's chatter, and quietly purred in response as if answering the child's babble. Kathleen tirelessly talked to the lioness, sharing everything in the world with her. She shared her childhood secrets with Angela, complained about her older sister Ashley's pranks, and described fun games with friends. It seemed the lioness understood everything and listened to every word of the child. Angela looked at Kathleen with her wise amber eyes, reflecting so much warmth and tenderness. In those moments, she resembled the very embodiment of maternal love. A caring mother ready to protect her child from any adversity. With each visit, Kathleen became more attached to Angela. The girl could sit by the enclosure for hours just to be closer to her unusual friend. The girl showed the lioness her favorite toys, and the lioness enjoyed watching the child's movements. The remarkable bond between the little girl and the fierce wild predator grew stronger every day. Kathleen was not at all afraid of the lioness, feeling her kind soul, and Angela, who had previously rejected almost the entire surrounding world, opened her heart to a single being, an innocent child. The staff of the reserve, led by Jacob, watched this touching friendship with amazement and admiration. They were amazed at how the stubborn lioness, having lived many years only with her kind, could let a little human cub get close to her. One day, during another visit, Kathleen confidently told her parents that when she grew up, she would definitely want to become a keeper of this reserve. The girl dreamed of caring for Angela and the other inhabitants, surrounding them with the same boundless love that the lioness had given her. Michael and Jessica, seeing the incredible bond between their daughter and the wild predator, were not surprised by Kathleen's plans. They understood that for their little girl, the lioness Angela had become closer and dearer than all domestic pets. Nature had gifted Kathleen a true friend in the form of a majestic predator. As the years passed, the bond between Kathleen and Angela only deepened. The lioness, aging gracefully, saw Kathleen as her own cub, while Kathleen viewed Angela as a second mother, one who was enormous, furry, and full of gentle strength. The extraordinary story of a remarkable friendship between a little girl and a wild lioness spread far beyond the reserve, drawing visitors from across the country. People flocked to witness the incredible sight of a mighty lioness, once the fierce queen of the savannah, gently nuzzling a child as if she were her own cub. Though everyone understood that this fairy tale bond would eventually come to an end, as the lifespans of a human and a lioness differ, no one wished to dwell on that bittersweet inevitability. On every visit to the reserve, Kathleen would dash straight to the lioness enclosure, where Angela would already be waiting, trembling with anticipation. The unbreakable bond between the girl and the lioness remained as strong and extraordinary as ever, forever etched in the hearts of those who witnessed it, a true miracle of nature. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.